All right. Now, is it still making that noise?
No, huh?
No, what? Okay. Well, let me tell you something. I was going through the Gypsy Rose. You know what I think I need to do? This silly, my other monitor over here, I think it's picking up sound. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure if it is or isn't. Anyway, well, I was going through the Gypsy Rose Blanchard stuff, and I came across something. I'm like, you know what? That does not make any sense. I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm saying this. There's something wrong with this timeline because you listen to Gypsy Rose in that interview, and I caught this the other day, and they were talking about when did Nick kill your mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's saying the night of the ninth. Now, when did they get on the bus? Let's go back and talk. When were they at the hotel? When did they get on the bus? When did all this really happen? I'm
Mm-hmm.
questioning that because I think that some people think it happened on the 10th, right? Some people think it happened, on the 11th. Some people think it happened on the 7th, but there's no way that could happen because we had proof that they went somewhere on the 8th and got somebody had a medical something happen on the 8th, June the 8th. So it
Mm-hmm.
could only be like the 9th or the 10th, period. She said the 9th, and I thought that's really wild. What are we missing? Right? And we know that they did not, they gave her a death date of the date they actually went out there and found her. That's what they put on the death report. But Gypsy's actually saying it happened on the 9th. So I thought that was really strange. And I want to talk about
What
that.
date? What day did they post it on Facebook?
Well, let me look at that. Let's see. Pull it up over here. What day did Gypsy post on Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. Here we go. We'll pull it up this way. I've got all kinds of. We had somebody be really sweet to us and just give us the entire case, every FOIA that's been done, everything. I'm like, oh my God, it's so much. So the Facebook post was made on June the 14th of 2015, right, about the bitch's
Mm-hmm.
death, right? So that's
Okay.
okay. So the timeline that shows up over here says sometime between the 9th and the 10th it occurred. And then the Facebook post goes on the 14th. And the welfare check and the body discovery was on the 14th. That's what it's saying. So it's
Okay.
very strange. She's saying the 9th. Why are they saying the 9th through the 10th? It clearly happened on the 9th because they went to that hotel. What? But they didn't go
I
to
was
the
gonna say,
hotel until
yeah.
two
What was?
o'clock. Yeah, yeah, two
It
o'clock
was
in the
late.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they go. Yeah. So the cab. Let's look at this. The cab takes them to the hotel. Hotel. Let's look at this. Hang on. What day? After. Hang on. Let me look at this really fast. So it says early in the morning of June the 10th, and it's saying after the murder. So absolutely, it had to happen on the 9th. There's no way it could happen any other day but the 9th. Now, remember the discussion that when she was upset with her mother because she asked her mother, could Nick move in with them? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this was discussed. And remember in the video, she says, oh, mom said mom won't let Nick move in. And when she's talking to Victor, but she's saying mom won't let Nick move in. And that's really hurtful because that means we'd have to do everything on our own. See, that made her so angry. And I think that has a lot to
Yeah.
do with this. I really do. She just, wow, there's so many things going on out there. And oh, okay, her TikTok being taken down. From what I understand, it is not permanent yet. They are still looking at this. We are all hoping that it's permanent because I mean we realize we're never going to get justice for Dee Dee. That's not going to happen, right? All that's over with. But you can get that. You can get her off of all of these social media sites and stop kids from looking up to her. I watched somebody do a video today. Was it Pink Chihuahua or was it Audacious Audrey? And it was about some mother was talking about, they were talking to their own child. And the child made the statement, well, I'll just do what Gypsy did. Right? When you start hearing things like that coming out in the public, that's extremely scary. Right? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, somebody really, I don't know if I'm pretty sure that the people on these social media sites don't want people like her to leave, but they're also not looking at what's going to happen if there's more children picking this up and wanting to run with it. So
Right.
it's a very scary situation, and it's just kind of I, I just I just still have questions. Now we talked about this the other day. I want to play you somebody's video that came out today, and I haven't seen him for a while, but anyway, this guy comes on quite frequently, and he played something today, and I thought it was kind of interesting because in his mind he's going to tell us there is no baby, there is no baby. So let's pull this up from what we saw today. He's kind of an interesting person. Here we go. I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube, guys. Hang on. Let's see if I can find him from today. I think I have to go to my history. All right. Let's get over here and go to the history. Whoops. Okay, look at my history. It's right here. Okay. You can see I looked at a lot of things today, right? This guy right here. Now, this guy's name is Karma Collector. Okay, let me stop. Okay. Anyway, yeah, make that small. Let me come back there. So I'm going to share my screen. This guy's name is Karma Collector, and he's been on TikTok. I mean, he's been on TikTok a lot, and then he comes on YouTube every once in a while. Now we haven't seen him in quite a while, but boy, today I was like, you know what? That's quite interesting what he's saying right there. So I'm going to share this, and we're going to give him full credit. So let me give full credit to the Karma Collector. Hang on a minute. Let me write this down. Please don't mess it up, stupid. You know, I just get scared. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Oh, come on, machine, don't do that. Enter. Okay. Yeah, let's put this up here on the screen so we can give him full credit. Yes, I like this guy, and I was glad to see him today. He's got some interesting thoughts on this Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So here we go. Let's let it play. I'm going to get it back over here. Right there. Now, here we go.
Asking you, I'm not telling you who to believe, who to trust, or whatever. I'm not even telling you.
I'm going to put our
trust
dots
me,
on to protect
okay? I'm
us.
not telling you that. But as far as this Gypsy Rose Blanchard nonsense goes, okay?
Okay, there we go.
I want you to pay attention now to and be suspect and weary of people, okay? That when it comes to this story, that they, number one, will not even entertain the notion of her not having a baby. Knowing that it's so easy to look at that electronic record, knowing she said right in open court on, it's on the transcript, she wasn't pregnant at the time. Okay. Everyone knows there's no way a judge.
So remember the divorce from Ryan, and she was claiming she was not pregnant. Remember that? Okay, so he has an interesting way of looking at this. Also, when you go over there to Wikipedia, why is the baby not listed on Wikipedia? That is a question that I have. When they have life updates, doesn't Wikipedia get updated with that? Now, she can't take things off of it, but they can add things to it for Wikipedia. So I've wondered about that as well. So we'll let him keep playing. It's very interesting what he says.
Knowing she was due in a couple of weeks wouldn't have continued. There's a lot of things, guys, and all the fake stuff. We don't have to go on about. We know she doesn't have a baby, okay? But they will not even look at it. They won't talk about it. You cannot. And if you're on there, I've seen some. I don't watch the lives, and I won't go on a live. I haven't been on one live, and I won't. And I've seen some of it, and I've heard of what happens on there. I've heard people tell me stuff too. All right, and they'll throw you off. They'll make fun of you, act like you're fucking totally crazy, and then get them thrown off altogether.
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to read our fair use statement. How stupid. let me do that right quick because we always need to, do fair use. And then we'll go back and listen to what he said. But, and I understand what he's saying when you start talking about this and you start saying things that the other people don't want to say or refuse to acknowledge, and they start talking to people like, that guy's just crazy or whatever. But how do we know that? We don't know anything because she is so full of crap. She's done so many different things. Okay. Here we go. Let me pull this back up right quick so we can hear this. We'll just go ahead and read this right quick and then we'll get back on it. So here we go. Fair use and copyright disclaimers. This video is for educational commentary and discussion purposes under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. All footage, audio, and image used in this video are transformed through commentary and analysis, criticism and discussion, educational context. No copyright infringement is intended. All rights belong to their respective owners. If you are a copyright owner and have concerns, please contact me directly. Thank you for allowing us to use your work. Giving you full credit. Here we go.
Or shut you down. You're not going to say there's no baby. They're not going to deal with that. All right. And these are, and these creators I'm talking about here, guys, they're going to remain nameless for now. Okay. For now. All right. But if they won't even entertain that notion, and they say foolish and naive things like this is what I think they were fed to do. Oh, Lifetime's a big production company, big TV. They wouldn't go along with a lie like this. They wouldn't go along. Guys, they're the ones that. All
right, hang on. We always have to stop for fair use, that kind of thing. So he's talking about Lifetime. Now let's think about Lifetime for just a second. Now, was it Lifetime that put out her show? Who was their?
Yeah, I believe it was Lifetime.
Okay, so it was Lifetime. So if Lifetime needed to continue the story, what would they do? What would they come up with to continue the story? They got rid of Brian. They had the love triangle. So the next thing that would happen would be what? The baby.
Would have to do with the baby, yeah.
Brian, they had the love triangle. Oh shit! I hear myself talking.
I don't hear it.
Okay. Anyway, so you got to think about this. And she stood in court and got a divorce from Ryan, claiming she was not pregnant. Okay. Now, I have always heard that you cannot get a divorce if you're pregnant. And would she lie to the courts?
Well, she obviously looked pregnant.
So that's a very questionable situation. So I like this. So Karma Collector's take on this is very interesting, and I want everybody to hear it. So let you, we're going to keep playing this. And again, thank you to Karma Collector. Here we go.
Said to go along with the lie, and they're the ones that manipulated him to doing it. Because again, I already told you she was already pregnant and lost a baby. She was pregnant by Ryan, and she lost it. Lifetime said the show must go on. I've made videos about this. I've been telling you this, okay? And they will not. Can't even talk about it with these people, man. And another thing that they hold steadfast to is this, guys. It was only Nick and Gypsy there, period. Gypsy's a total piece of shit because, well, she did plan it to kill her mother. She manipulated that man to do it, Nick, and they go on about his problems and all that. But it's all they manipulated him into doing it. It's him that did it. Though.
Hang on a second, though. All right. So now but here's the question that I have on that, and I'm not going to say he's wrong at all. I'm not going to say that because I don't know. I wasn't there, But here's the thing: they were only together for how long? How long did she live with him? Like 90 days? Is that how long? I guess
yeah,
she could have
not
gotten
long.
pregnant. Yeah, but she could have gotten pregnant the first month. It is possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
She could have taken maybe the Plan B thing or something. I don't know, because she didn't want to stay there and she didn't want to be, trapped to him. She wanted to be trapped to Ken.
There was that video of her going to the pharmacy with Mia looking for the Plan B.
Right. So what he's saying could very well be true. Then the next thing he goes on to, this is another situation that everybody always questions. And I listened to his take on this and I thought, he thinks the same thing we do on part of this. So I'm going to let it keep playing. Here we go.
Okay. That goes back to what, guys? Back to Gypsy. Okay. Right. I don't consider myself a murderer because I didn't do the actual kill. That's why he did it. That's why he's in trouble. Right. We know that she tortured and killed her mother on the kitchen floor long before he even got there.
Okay. You hear that?
They take him out right around midnight. So Judas sacrifice. I know what I'm talking about.
I
All
just
right,
don't
she was
see them
cold
being
by the
able to
time
lift
he
that
died.
lady up off the kitchen floor onto the bed, though. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that.
Well, because in his mind, as he keeps on speaking, he believes that Dan was there. Okay. Now, and you're
Um,
gonna also ask some questions because there was a cigarette butt that was kind of over there by the by the driveway, which nobody smoked in that house. Gypsy didn't smoke. We know that Nick didn't smoke, and we know that Dee Dee didn't smoke. So who was over there smoking cigarettes?
yeah,
I mean, why was it there? The only people that had been in her yard was who? I mean, it was there when the cops got there. I don't even think that
yeah.
they tested it. So I think that's very interesting because what if? I mean, from based on what he's saying, it really makes you stop and think a little bit. So let's keep going.
Got there. All right. So no, it happened in the bedroom. Gypsy was in the bathroom, and Nick did it. And they hold to that. And they hold to Dan Glidewell had nothing to do with it. You guys, they're going to remain nameless for now, but you know who they are. I want you to look at these people, man, because there is a reason that if they're all through doing if they're doing people that are doing all the things I'm saying right now, there's a reason for that, because these people are far smarter than that. They are far smarter than that. And they all say they say David and Kim Blanchard had nothing to do with it. They're not just friends and
Okay. Now we're going to move on to those next people. Now that he's talking about the Blanchards that are so not any relation to Gypsy and Dee Dee, but did live there on that street, saying they had nothing to do with it. But where he's
Hmm.
going with this is, wait a minute, they had a key to that house, and they had the ability to go in and out of this house for 4 days before they went to do this welfare check to find her, deceased, right? So in what for his take on this is pretty interesting when he starts talking about these people and Dan having some kind of some possibility to be involved in this somehow, some way, and always knowing something about it. I thought that's pretty interesting. So here we go.
innocent bystanders and just friends. Okay. No, nothing to do with it. He climbed through that window, didn't see anything. No, guys, his fat ass didn't climb through any window. It was undisturbed there. He didn't climb through any window. He had a key. David and Kim had a key to that home. And I'm sure they know that. Are they going to ask David and Kim that and to explain that, why they acted this big? David had 4 days to go in and out of the house and do whatever he wanted. I'm not saying he could have done anything with it. They had a camera in there, done anything with it. They could have done anything he wanted in that house, removed anything, brought anything back, done anything he wanted for 4 days. All right.
That's a very interesting discussion on talking about those two. I mean, I don't know what anybody else thinks. I don't know if anybody else could. I mean, I would like to know what other people think. If anybody else thinks that maybe there's some parts of this that, and let's talk about that for a minute. There is no way that guy climbed in the window. Remember well, we need to go pull that up, don't we? Remember how disgusting the kitchen was? Remember the stuff all over the place? If he would have climbed through a window,
Yeah.
things would have fallen off. You would have seen footprints and all this other stuff. So he's right. There's no way he climbed through that window. That just didn't happen. I don't believe it happened either. It's kind of interesting. Here we go.
And these people that they're adamant about Dan Glidewell had nothing to do with it, don't even talk about it. That's weird, man. That's totally weird. Okay. They've been placed by way of taxi cab drivers and some other shit right there, right around that area, right when, but I don't remember.
He's getting so frustrated. But remember this. Remember in Nick Go to John's interview, he said, oh, he can forgive some people, but he will never forgive Dan Glidewell. And remember, Gypsy said, well, she wanted to have one last little romp in the hair or whatever with somebody before Nick got there and before they went to Wisconsin, right? Remember that? So was Dan Glidewell there? Is there something we don't know about Dan Glidewell? Did Nick, when Nick arrived at the house, was was somebody else there? We don't know. Does Dan Gladwell smoke cigarettes? I don't know. It's very, very interesting. We'll keep going.
I don't remember the specific facts on this. I don't want to get into that right now. But if they won't accept it, they won't even look in it. She has a baby, period. Oh, we feel for the baby, and oh, blah, blah, blah. Then we hear foolish things like, oh no, the baby was taken away from her, given to rain, and then they had since she's been born, because it's Louisiana. Since she was a murderer, they just came and take the baby right away. You guys, man, come on. We would have heard about that. She would have milked that for attention, been a big crybaby. Guys, she doesn't have a baby, and anyone with any fucking sense can see that she does it and just look at it. But these are intelligent people otherwise, man. All right? And again, I'm not going to name them yet, but I'm watching them all, man. I'm going to watch them now, man. Because if they won't, but if they won't budge about even thinking that there's no baby, and I don't care, guys. What I'm telling you is I don't care if they say that they're Christians, and these are the ones that are always politically correct. Well, I don't want to say that because I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound insincere. I don't want to sound hateful or be disrespectful. And the ones.
Now, think about that. I know what he's saying, though, because you have seen this in other chats and things. I mean, I've even got texts or chats messages about, why are you talking about her like that? And, the supporters of Gypsy trying their best to turn us into, it's never going to happen. See, we're never going to support Gypsy like that. And so in every chat, I'm sure in every creator's chats, there's people like that. And so I understand what he's saying right here about the people who can, it even kind of goes back to my live that I did yesterday about the internet moves fast, but the truth doesn't. Because it comes out on YouTube, it comes out whatever social media site, and by God, that's the way it is. And you can't hardly change somebody's mind, right? It's interesting.
Well, I just only want facts and evidence. Just get just the facts, just the facts. Okay. David, Blanchard, and Kim were up to their neck in it, and they were there that night. And there's a reason if they're going to try to make some documentary, and they're pulling these two into it. And there's a reason there's these big content creators that will, like I just said, all right? And if I never brought up to any of them, you know what they say? Oh, it's either he's just a conspiracy theorist or he's just trolling. They actually think that I'm just trolling. They think I'm just made this shit up.
Well, I can tell you he's not making it up, because Becca Scoops talked about this documentary they're going to make and who they were going to bring into it. And then when she did that, Fancy kind of got upset because she said, you don't understand. You're not going to get the truth bringing those people in there. You need to, and she talked about the other people they should bring in there, not that group. So there is a documentary coming out. I don't know when, but it is being talked about, and that is real. So here we go.
To troll, like I got nothing better to do, or I'm a conspiracy theorist. Now, at first, some of them.
Cinderella, how you doing?
I don't know about the big ones. Even
if you're late, I'll go with it. But I love to see you.
First they tried on drugs and I'm mentally ill, but the kind of crazy they're saying is that I'm it has to be that I'm delusional, and these things are just coming to me, and I'm making them up, and because I'm hearing and I'm just delusional people don't behave this way, and delusional people aren't able to string together.
Who's delusional? It's not him. I mean, he may have information that we've never seen before, right? We don't know. But I'm not going to say he's delusional. I know Gypsy Rose Blanchard's delusional, and I know that Ryan Anderson's delusional, and I know that Ken Urquhart is delusional, right? We know they are, for sure. So, the guy's just interesting. I've seen some of the other stuff on TikTok. You can't hardly it's hard to play stuff from TikTok over here on YouTube. It just, sometimes the sound doesn't work. It's kind of weird, but anyway, we'll keep watching this.
All this shit and speak the way I do and all that. And they know that. So they can't use that anymore. And drugs, it's the kind of drugs that what I'm saying is if they say that someone's on drugs That's why they're saying these things. They're talking about you're fucking so far out there hallucinating and shit. All right? Not, oh, well, they might be on some pain pills or some coke or some, I don't know. You know what I mean? They're saying, well, he's on drugs if he's coming up with this shit. Well, guys, you know, you could maybe say I'm a little hyper or something like that. But to say that I'm on hallucinogens or something like that, I'm just so fucking far out there. This shit's coming to me, I'm making it up. That's not going to work either. See? So it has to be, oh, he's just a conspiracy theorist, you know, and he's trolling. They like to say that I'm just trolling, that I don't mean any of this shit. Okay. Also, I'd like to point out that Sheena just recently said, I believe in Morbid, that, you know, she's indeed a Luciferian. You guys, my story has not changed. I have said from day one, the very first time.
Let's stop for fair use for a minute. Now he's going to start talking about Sheena. Now we all know Sheena. Well, let's just face it. She said a few things that are not exactly accurate about herself and some other things. And we know that she just runs over here, that she just grabbed on to Gypsy, just like Bree grabs on. They all grab onto her. And what do they think they're going to get? They don't seem to understand that she could care less about them, that they are nothing more than just dirt under her feet. She doesn't really want to mess with them anymore, but they're not going to let her go because they want their 15 minutes of fame for Gypsy Rose Blanchard, whether it's good or bad. Now, I like his take on this, and we're going to listen.
Time I came on here, that Gypsy Rose does not have a baby. A year ago when I started in April, a year ago, it's been a year now, I've been saying from one, she doesn't have a baby, and why. And I've also said that was a sacrifice and a ritual. And I've told you all, everyone who was there from the very start, and none of my story has changed. All right. None of my story has changed. I've got fucking 500 videos on YouTube. You can go all the way back, man. All right. And I'm telling you, there's something wrong with all these people that still are sticking to she has a baby and come out here and talk about, oh, what a horrible mother she is and what she's doing this and that and that. And that are still going along with that other narrative because it's still Nick did it. Guys, there's something wrong with that, man. I just telling you, pay attention to them and just don't trust these people. I don't want to tell you not to trust these people. I'm telling you, don't trust these fucking people. But I don't want to tell you what to do, man. All right. There's a reason that they're just ignoring all that. And there's something to this other shit going on. All right. So,
okay.
Just wanted you to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's enough for now. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Carmen Collector, for sharing your thoughts.
See you next one.
Here we go. Anyway, so.
And what month did you
share my screen?
March of 2014.
Okay. There you go. So I think that's interesting, his take on every bit of this. And you got to wonder, what makes him think that? I'd love for him to come on our show and talk to us. And please tell me why he thinks this. That would be wonderful. Don't you think, Sprinkle? What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you think that he has some kind of knowledge that's not really out there that maybe he may have got from somebody that's on the inside? I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know, but I think
it's hard to tell.
Pretty damn interesting. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can pull up. Oh, not that. Hang on, let me get rid of this. Just a second, guys. Now we're going to go back. And we're going to look at. I know y'all have seen this 100 times, but I want to slow it down. I really want you to listen real carefully to that first little section when he starts correcting her about her lie, because there's some things she says that I don't think we've picked up before. So here we go. Let me go get this. Here we go. Whoops. Oh, gotta go get it. Okay, come on. No. Gypsy Rose. Let's see. Let's see. Not that one. I think it's on jail. Hang on, jail. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's on disc. I think it's disc 1. It's called. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry. Okay, this right here. Now, I'm going to take this all the way back. Okay, hang on a second. Now, let me put that on hold. Hang on. You know, all right, I'm gonna go over here and share the screen. And just, I mean, it's like, I know. But if you just pay really close attention when she starts telling this little story and she makes these little statements, you're going, wait a minute, I didn't hear that last time. Why didn't I hear that? Okay. So I need to share my screen. I'm like, what are you doing, silly girl? All right. Now, I'm going to move past, we're going to only show the parts where she's actually talking to somebody. So just a second here. All right, let's let it go. Hang on. Laying up there with a blanket, resting, not having to worry about nothing. And look at Nick, he's over there. I wish I could show them side by side because he's over there with his handcuffs behind his back. He's in pain, and they're ignoring him. But they're coming over here giving this little witch the, you know, the golden treatment with her little pillow. You know, look at her. Let me get the guy in here.
One or the other? Okay, how long have you been on those?
I've been on those
Listen carefully.
I'm a new doctor. So, for about 4 months.
4 months? Do you take them every day, or are you just as needed?
Just as needed when I'm in pain.
Okay. Any other medications that you're on other than what you mentioned to me with that Capra and?
I was on some medication.
She's talking about pain pills, but remember who the pain pill, where are you at? Remember who the pain pills were actually prescribed to? Her mother. They weren't prescribed to her.
But whenever I left home, I kind of left all my
There you are.
behind.
So you're on many more medications?
Right, yeah.
Because originally you only told me you were on one.
Right, but I only brought the one. Well, I didn't bring
Oh,
the
that's
other
so small.
except for the pain one. But at my house back in Missouri, my mom always kept a full stock closet of all the
There we go.
medicines that I was on.
I can take the dots off.
I didn't exactly take them with me.
Okay. Do you know what the names of all your medications were?
She knows them. If I can just call her.
Okay.
Can I
we'll get that all
please
taken
call
care of
her?
in a little while. Did you know other than the Capra and the?
See, that right there shocks the shit. I'm just going to say it shocks the shit out of me. She's sitting here talking to this, you know, this deputy, whatever his name is. Can I call her? She knew her mother was dead. What kind of game is she playing right here? Then, okay, there's another thing that happens. I don't know if you, I heard this phone call today, and she was talking to, well, we'll get to that phone call later. Because what she says to her, oh God, just pay attention, guys.
Other medication? Did you know any of the other ones you were taking?
I get so frustrated.
To be perfectly honest, she always took good care of me, so I never really
Did
bothered
she?
to ask. I just
Okay.
took my medicine like I was supposed
Okay.
to.
All right. Are you doing good right now? You need any water or anything?
Some water would be nice.
Okay, so why don't you step on out here? We'll get you some water.
Mm-hmm,
Do you need to use the restroom at all?
Mhm.
That's what you want. Is it? Or just start the hallway first?
I'll tell you something else that happened. There's another lady who was in jail with her, and she talked to somebody, some interview that she did, and she talked about when she would go to make these phone calls, you know, because they could all hear each other making their phone calls, and she would talk just like a normal person. But as soon as she got that family member on the other line, the baby talk started. She knew the game she was playing, manipulating little Huzzy. Anyway, let's get this back up here where the guy comes in here. Hang on. Okay.
You know?
Feel okay, sir.
Okay, well, we'll just pass it on to the medical staff so that we're ready for in case something does happen.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Because she's going to get herself taken to the hospital, you know, because she's so important. Here we go. Oh, with that baby shit.
I brought Nick in, and Nick was just really, he was concerned about you, so we'll check to make sure you're fine. Looks like you're doing good.
God almighty.
And he is fine as well. He was very concerned about you, and he wanted to make sure you knew that.
Gypsy, he cried. Okay, he cried.
That's what I'll, so,
And tell them they're treating me nice.
excellent. I will do that. Yeah, you got the nice couch. You got the nice room. We gave you the nice room.
Nice fishy room.
This, there it is. It doubles as a pillow, rather nice. All right.
See,
Okay, thank you so
You bet.
much.
let me ask you, Sprinkle, and everybody. Do y'all think that the detectives and the police officers talked to her like she was mentally challenged, like she was much younger than she really was? Did it sound like they talked to her like that?
Yeah,
Springfield?
they kind of talked to her like she was a little girl, like a little
Mm-hmm.
girl,
Mm-hmm.
like
It's
she
kind
was
of
like she
disgusting.
was 12 years, like she was 12 years old or something. But
Remember
looking
when
at
she,
her, I mean, I can
yeah,
see if they're just looking at her, they're not thinking she's very old.
right. Well, I think because her head was so small, she has very small features from her microdeletion, from that. So she has some small features and her head
Yeah,
is small,
and she's
and so, yeah,
and she's what 4'9". She's a little tiny thing. She's not very
right,
big.
right. Okay. It's just amazing how they treat her. Now, and if you go back and you watch some of Nick's, and when you go back and you see the one where the detective starts talking to Nick, she talks to Nick, she talks down to Nick like he's, well, I guess because he is mentally kind of challenged, she talks to him in that tone as well. And that's what made him feel comfortable enough to just start spilling it off. Anyway, we'll go back and get this. Let me get over here. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, she manipulated him to no end.
All right.
I mean,
Hang on.
she was a good detective. She worked him and worked the angle of protecting Gypsy. And if
It
you
was
love her,
so
you'll tell the
unfair.
truth. I mean, she really worked him.
That was so unfair. Okay, we got to go to disc number 2, y'all. Hang on. Let's go to disc 2. All right. Here we go.
And somebody
All
that's
right.
mentally challenged like
Let's
that, I mean,
go.
I know you have to give them the Miranda, but I still feel like they should have an advocate or somebody in the room with them at all times during questioning because they're not going to understand.
Huh. I wonder why that's not. Okay, we got to find a different disc number 2 to go to because it's really not showing very well, is it? I don't want to have to go all the way out to into the weeds. Oh, look, guys, that's weird. Okay. Well, let's pull it up a different way. Damn it. I wonder what that means. See that right there? Ah, okay. Now, so I'm going to get this straight, and we're going to pull it back up. Let me get over here where this guy is. Now, it's kind of interesting when he starts talking to her. Hang on a second. Over there with her cushy blanket. She's already been to the hospital and back now. They figured out there's nothing wrong with this bitch, right? They already figured that out. So let's see. Come on. Let me see. Oh, come on. I don't know why. Okay, so the door is open. There is a guy sitting there. I don't know if you can see his knee or not. He's sitting there so she don't leave. Like, where would she go, right? Come on. All right, I think it's way over here whenever. They're just filming her while she sleeps. Yep, he's sleeping. Oh, don't do that. Come on. I don't know why it's circling like that, but. Oh, look at it. It won't go. Okay, number 2. All right, now. I don't know why it's like that. Oh, all right. Now, everybody's back on the screen. Thank you, thank you. Sorry about that. I'm getting over here where the guy comes in and starts talking to her. I have to go slow. You can't go very fast because I'll lose it. I wish I could remember exactly where it starts, but I can't. So. I know it's on disc 2, though. Oh, please, come on. Yes, see, there's the guy sitting there, and the guy comes in here at the kind of way over here, I think it is. Can you imagine just sitting there watching this bitch sleep like that? Like she don't got a care in the world. Yeah, who cares, right? It don't matter what she did. I was not on disc number 3. Okay, listen right there.
Okay.
Craziness. Oh, there he is. Okay. Come on, dude. I don't want to have to go all the way to disc number 3, but I might have to because I don't remember where it starts. But
Has there been any news about the man that I came here with?
you hear
To be
that?
honest, I don't know a thing.
Has there been any news about the man I came here with? You mean Nick, bitch? You mean Nick? Is that what you're talking about? Can you believe? Okay, see, that's the first time I noticed that she said that. Right there. So many things about this where she's just playing them all. All right, let's go to disc number 3. I guess it's on disc number 3. I don't really remember. Let's see. All right, come on. Let's go. Okay. All right. Okay, we got to come back over here and do this. They gave her some food, you know. Has there been any news about the man I came here with? Oh my God. She's so irritating. Hang on. Get this in. Oh, wait a minute. I went too far. Okay, let's go over here. Now, listen real carefully to what the conversation that happens here is kind of, we pick up on things we never paid attention to before. I don't want to go too far, so we'll let it just kind of sit here for a second. We'll just talk amongst ourselves for a minute while it comes on in. But, I mean, she just, she makes me so mad. I just want to slap her. And I know that's mean, but yeah, I just don't
see
understand
how Ken can watch all this stuff and be attracted to her.
I don't think he watches it.
I mean, he's had to have seen it. And all the videos about, her and Nick and Damona and all of that. I just don't know how he can take that out of his brain and be like, oh, she's a different person now. I mean, that to me would just be, I mean, I certainly am not a man, but I just think that would be just a huge turnoff. That would just be a huge turnoff.
See, but I don't think he's attracted to her like that.
You don't
because
think?
He won't put a ring on. No, I don't think he is. But he won't put a ring on. If you really, let's just talk about that for a second. If you really love somebody and y'all have had a baby together and you want to spend your life with them, wouldn't you already propose to them? Wouldn't you get married? So your baby has that 2-parent family because she cared about you so much that she gave you a child. I mean, that's something special. Having a baby is special, right? But there's old Ken. He just can't do it. I don't understand what the problem is. Yeah, I do. I do know what the problem is. I guess you got to put yourself in his shoes because who wants to be trapped? Yeah, I know that he has heard her say. Well, I mean, he's stuck with me now. We have a baby, trapped. I know that he's heard her say that. I just know it. Okay.
Well, how did that work out for Dee Dee? That didn't work out for Dee Dee too well. I don't think that's going to work out for dipshit either.
Geppetto. I don't think it is either. Right. See, why I don't even understand. Why would you repeat something your mother did when you saw how it worked out? That made no sense to me at all. I mean, who does that shit?
Because she thinks she's better than her mom. She thinks things are going to be different with her than they were with her mom.
Right. I feel so sorry I really do feel sorry for Dee Dee because seeing what we see now through the FOIAs and everything else, we realize just how sick she was and how Gypsy treated her. Like crap.
Yeah. Gypsy she didn't want to be burdened with taking care of her mom.
No,
that's
she
what
didn't.
it comes down. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion.
Well, we heard her say that. She made a statement, something like, well, if I had to stay there and take care, I'd be stuck there another 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Hi, Gypsy.
Now listen to everything he says. I'm not going to talk.
Sorry to have to wake you up. Talk to your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of stuff you're leaving out, girl.
Like what?
Well, I'm not going to get into it with you, okay? You're leaving a lot of stuff out that you need to probably tell me. Do you want to talk to me about it? Tell me about it?
Sure, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
You planned this with him, okay? You didn't get locked in the bathroom, okay? I'm not stupid.
I know.
First of all, the lock's on this side, so you can't get locked in there. Okay, you went in there because you
Hang on.
brought that knife into the picture.
Hang on. She's saying you didn't get locked. I know. She's admitting she was not locked in the bathroom right there. She was not sitting in that bathroom. Remember, I showed you all that picture. And there was a cat shit box on one side. There was no room. And those big old wheelchairs in there. There's no way for her to sit in that bathroom like that. So right here we know she was not in the bathroom. Here we go.
You brought the idea into the picture.
I didn't bring the idea.
You did bring it into. You brought the whole thing in the idea.
No.
And he did it for you.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
no.
He did. Okay? So the lies, they're done. I'm not going to sit in here all night long.
No,
Be
I
honest
won't
with you.
give you. I won't give you. Like, I did not think of this. I know that he has a evil side, and
And so do
he
you.
did want to do it.
Okay? I understand that. I understand that.
He wanted to get rid of my mom.
Yeah, for you.
Yes, for me.
Yeah, because you asked him.
Okay.
He wanted to.
She just said it. He said he wanted to get rid of your mom for you. And she goes, yes, he wanted it for me. She just said, yes, for me. I mean, see, that's the thing about this. She told him that, yeah, she planned it. She's telling herself right there. I don't understand how she got that plea agreement for manslaughter. I'll never understand that because she told her herself over and over. She admits it right here.
She
Because you asked him.
had some damn good
Wait a
lawyers.
second.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, now, here's another thing I figured out. Before the lawyers came and spoke to her at the jail, first they talked to Christy and Rod, okay? And so Christy and Rod planted that seed in there about this battered spouse situation, about Gypsy being sick and all this other garbage. They planted that seed, and that's where that started. Plus, Gypsy, of course, telling that detective, or it wasn't the detective, it was the the transport guy, that she was sick and she needed this medicine and she didn't take it with her and she can't go to jail because she's sick. Anyway, here we go.
Gypsy, we're not playing this game, okay? You asked him to. That's why he did it, okay? Plain and simple. We're not playing this game. I'm not going to spend all my night long listening to
Hey,
your lies.
Warrior,
You
good
told
to
me the
see you,
truth
hon.
on some things, but you left a lot of stuff out. You left a lot of stuff out. So we're not playing this game, okay? He's already told me everything. Everything.
We're both trying.
The knife was mailed. You guys mailed it here, okay? We know where the knife's at. So the gig's up. You're done. It's up. You're done. You're done. You hated your mom.
I did not hate my mom. I did not hate my mom. I
Yeah, you
loved my mom, and
You would have
needs-
never done this to your mom.
He needs to tell you that I honestly have been having horrible, and I didn't want to do it. And he said that he would commit suicide if we didn't.
That's a
Did he
lie.
tell you that?
Oh, my friend fell off.
I said that it was a bad thought that I was thinking, and yeah,
No.
I don't think that we should be doing this.
A lot of people think about stuff, but when you act, that's when you cross the line. And that's what you've done. You acted upon it. And he
sprinkle.
acted upon it. So, okay? We're done. You're obviously going to keep telling me lies.
I'm
so
not.
gonna
I'm not
you
sure.
got it.
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Now you're going to be booked in for, later on down the line, you're going to be booked in for probably murder. Okay? As long as, and with him as well. Okay? All right?
I didn't murder my mom, sir.
Listen to me.
Sir,
Listen
I
to
didn't.
me. You did because you're behind it.
You are.
You pulled all the strings on it
I
and
didn't.
you're behind it.
I
I'm not, listen, Gypsy, I'm not going to sit and argue with you about
All,
it, okay?
all I wanted was
So-
to come and get me.
No, that's not all you wanted. There's a lot more to this whole story that you're leaving out. I'm not going to play the sympathetic game. I'm not like that, okay? I can see right through it. Okay?
Please, I'm not able to be
Right
in
there.
jail. I have a lot of medical
I
needs.
understand that, and they'll get taken care of, okay?
I am not able to be in jail. I have a lot of medical needs. See, she pulls that out when she needed to. That's the whole history right there. Every time she needed to pull that shit out, she did. You know, I don't understand how anybody could think that she
Well, and you
was
notice
not-
how she said, I didn't, she never said, I did,
Go ahead.
she never said, I didn't kill my mom. All she said was, I didn't hate my mom.
Right.
She never
right.
said I didn't kill my mom.
Well, that's right. That's true. That is what she said. It's just kind of interesting. I mean, if you listen really close and we don't be talking and carrying on, cause like we usually do, because we get all excited, doing our live because we like to talk. But anyway, if we just listen carefully and you pick up these little words that you didn't pay attention to before, just like, oh, I know. When she admitted that she was not in the bathroom, she just said it right there. There's so many little parts of this. And if you listen to Nick, go back and listen to Nick's again, and you hear little things that he says, and he says, all I did was come down here to get her because she was kicked out of her mother's house this is where that comes from. She was kicked out of her mother's house on the 7th, and I came down here to get her. And then this happened. That's how he starts it out, right? But she never says, I was kicked out of my mother's house and Nick came to get me to this detective, did she? We never hear that out of her. All right.
So it's a title.
Of course, then he leaves, Now listen to this. That mind's ticking. What can I do to get out of this? What do I need to say? The other day I found a way to play them side by side. So I had Nick and his interrogation right here, and then I had Gypsy right here. But I can't put it on StreamYard. For some reason, it just doesn't let me. You can't pull two screens in at once like that, right? But when I did this, and I'm watching this go on, Nick is in there crying. He's very upset. Nick is feeling remorse. Nick did not want to do this. And she's sitting over there like this, thinking, what do I need to say to get out of this? What can I do to leave? I want to go home. Nick's also thinking, we're going home tonight. They're just going to question us, and that's that. He really did think that, guys. I mean, you just got to go listen to it. You just have to listen to it again, and you'll pick up some things that he means that. He absolutely means that. He's not just playing around. That is exactly what a 14, 15, 16-year-old child would think. She is, over here playing, but we know she's 23, right? Almost 24. She's not mentally challenged, guys. She just played one on TV. Here we go. Bitch. She makes me so mad. I don't remember how long she sits here like this, but it's kind of like, it's a little bit, and then she's contemplating what to do next. It's just wild. I think it's wild.
Well, she's been able to lie and manipulate herself out of everything.
I want a
And
lawyer.
this is probably the first time that everybody's
Please, sir.
probably put her in her place.
Sir,
I want a lawyer. Shit. See, but it's too late now, bitch.
I want a lawyer. Please, I need a lawyer.
Okay, have a seat.
Here's something about that, guys. Listen to it. All right, now. She's sitting there saying, I want a lawyer. I guess she's seen a lot of TV, right? Does she think they're just going to go down the hall and just grab a lawyer and bring him over there and he's going to sit down and talk to her and that he's going to get her a bond and she's going to get out of there? I think she thinks that. I really do. But by the way she reacts right here about needing that lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, Wow. Yeah, she does not cry, Cinderella. She doesn't. She does a fake cry here in a minute, and it's wild what sounds that she makes. I'm like, Taking her teeth out. She wants to look pitiful. She wants them to come back in here and she looks so pitiful. I did not. It is just freaky when you look at all of this and then you see what she's doing over there on, we're not on TikTok anymore. She's been banned from TikTok, but all these other places, she's doing all this stupid shit, and she thinks that she's going to be she thinks some brand is going to come pick her up. No, they're not. That would be an embarrassment knowing what they know
No.
now, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we know
they're
that-
not.
Is she going to say something? We know that had these FOIAs not come out, she might have had a chance at something like that. But once these things came out and people saw what really happened, it changed a lot of minds. Anybody with half a brain realizes you cannot diagnose somebody with something when they passed away. And in those medical records, there's only one spot where a doctor has some kind of thought about it. But then once she gets her actual diagnosis for her, whatever, her microdeletion, then it's like once Dee Dee got answers, it all stopped. And that upset her. See, that upset because she wasn't getting all the attention anymore. And she flat said, I wanted to keep my mother's attention. I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, you sick little bitch, you. Anyway. You also got to wonder, okay, while she's sitting there with
I
alarm
often
clock,
wonder. I often wonder if she would have gotten out and just kind of slid back into the background and just kind of lived her life. If all the FOIAs would have come out, if all of this would have come out like this.
I think they would have. And the reason why I think they would have is because there was already suspicions because of her book. I think had she not written the book, the stuff would have not came out. That's what I think. I could be very wrong, though,
Yeah.
Because, all the stuff she put in that book, you're going, huh? What? No way. Right?
Yeah.
And when they first came out, and
I heard that I heard that she sold less than like 100 copies of that book. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard.
Well, they're bringing it back out in paperback.
The number was actually 30.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which, I don't know. 30 seems awfully low. I can't imagine, but that's the number that I heard, that she only sold 30, but,
Well, they're reprinting it in paperback. But they made someone
as much as I dislike her, I don't think that's true information.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Wonder if it'll pop up if I Google it.
I guess if you stop and think about like a 12-year-old, let me stop this for just a second. If you stop and think about like a 14, 15, 16-year-old, and they think in literal terms, well, I didn't actually wield the knife, so I didn't do it, right? That's that. Well, it's sort of, but not really. That's the way they look at it, because they didn't really do it, right? We know there's something wrong here if that's what she thinks is. Help me there, Cinderella. Sprinkle, help me.
Yeah.
I can't get it out. I'm like, it's like, is she, the way she acts here versus the way she acts now, right? Do you think that at the time she's sitting there on this couch and she's doing all this and she's playing like she's, 19 years old or 12 years old, how old is she trying to play? Does she think that, I guess because she was able to do this for so long, she thinks nobody will know. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think she she did it for so long. She, the lies and the manipulation. She manipulated everybody, doctors, her mom, her dad, friends, family. I think she felt like she was so good at this that everybody would believe everything that she said, because in her mind, she was something really special. And You know,
Yeah,
nobody's ever gonna can think that little Miss Innocent Gypsy has done something like this. So it doesn't matter what anybody else says, they're gonna believe her. She was so delusional in her own self-worth that, she was something extremely special.
right. That's true. That's very true. And her mother told her she was special all the time. I think in her younger days, when
Yeah.
I think her mother really coddled her and all that stuff. But I think as she was getting older and getting harder to deal with, I think that Dee Dee had gotten so tired, right? I really do believe that. Because, there's a lot of talk out here from when I listen to other people's lives and stuff about Dee Dee actually looking into placements where she could go live someplace else, right? Because I think Dee Dee had just grown so tired and tired of being responsible for this thing right here, Miss Thing. And I think that also
Hmm.
played into part of her being so upset that she was like, okay, Nick, you got to do it now. You got to come now, right now. I think it did, and the fact that Dee Dee would not let Nick move in there, and because they would have to be responsible for themselves instead of her mother taking care of it. Because her mother took care of everything. It's just the whole thing is bizarre.
Right.
It's almost like it's not even real. I mean, when you sit and look
Yeah,
at it
it
this
says on
way,
here. Go ahead.
oh, you go
I
ahead.
know
Go ahead.
it's just it's unbelievable. No, it says based on reports around April 2025, Gypsy Rose Blanchard had sold approximately 600 copies of her memoir.
600,
That was a year ago.
right?
That's what it
Right.
says. That's what the AI says. Total sold approximately 600 copies. That's not a lot of books.
That's not a lot. Well, maybe it's because people had questions. People maybe it's because people just already thought something really wasn't right. But because Nick had his trial and Nick tried to get appeals, Nick was already trying to get appeals, and I know people kept up with that. So then they get this book that's coming out, and they're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, these stories aren't meshing together here, right? Let's listen some more to this. She makes more noises. Hang on.
Yeah.
It's wild. My favorite part is, hey,
It was number 30,788 in the overall Amazon store
okay,
and ranked in the top 20 in survival biographies.
survival biography,
Yeah,
because that's when
as of
people,
early
that's when people,
2025, yeah, it held a bestsellers rank of number 20 in survival biographies. No, a survival biography would be Elizabeth Smart. That would be a
I
survival
agree.
biography.
I agree with
You
that
know,
too.
yeah.
But the funny thing is, when you go out to Chat GPT or whatever it is, and you put Gypsy Rose Blanchard's name in there, do you know it tries to argue with you about whether her mother had Munchausen or not? It's kind of like all this information is out there, but like where it should be going, where people, for fact checks and stuff, it's not there because mainstream never picked it up, and I don't understand why. I don't know why mainstream media cannot go back and say, oh, wait a minute, we all made a mistake. Let's see, this is what really happened here. Nobody will address it.
Hmm.
Why? I don't understand that. Why can't they admit that here's what it is, it was rushed to an opinion based on things that were being said, and then finally the truth came out, but they will not go back and look at it because, well, we're embarrassed, right? We're embarrassed. That's the all of them are. They're embarrassed about it. It's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
I can't respond. Let me see. I don't know if somebody else comes back, but remember the other part. Hang on. Remember the other part to these videos where she's sitting talking to somebody out there, and they're talking about going to Disney and all these different things that she had done as a child. Did you notice it's like that part of the interviews is kind of it's not in the latest FOIAs. Like you don't see that in these FOIAs. That's the kind of thing you saw out there, but that wasn't the real interviews. Now, I had a lady come into the chat the other day, and she started arguing with me. It was the strangest thing about how these FOIAs and those medical records were all doctored. That wasn't the real information. That only what they wanted you to see was being put out there, from those FOIAs. And I'm like, no, it's all in black and white. It's all right there. They did not cut any part of it out. You can see the continuous film going. No part was cut out. Why are you saying this? Because they cannot admit that this could possibly be a lie. It's craziness here, craziness.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next thing that comes in, I think the next thing that happens is she gets on the floor or whatever, and then they come in to take and book her right to get her out of there. Look at that idiot. No, you can't hide in the blanket, right? You did it. We all know it. Hang on a second. Is this where she starts mumbling something in one of these? It's kind of hard to catch, but leave her. You know what else was freaky? I'm gonna get off of that one, but anyway, you know what else was freaky is when she started talking and saying, "No, I have the same clothes. I had the same clothes on that I did the night that happened." Now let's talk about that for a second. She sent the knife to his house because that is her trophy of the kill, which is a sociopathic thing, right? But she never changed clothes. She never took a shower, but she took clothes with her. So tell me why she never took a bath and got cleaned up and changed clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. I want to know why she did that. What in your mind tells you don't take a shower? Just keep wearing the same dirty clothes I killed my mama in. I don't. I mean, let me ask. Why would a killer? Let's ask the question here. Why would a killer wear the same clothes for 4 days in a row? Here we go. It makes no sense at all. Okay, let's see what it has to say to us. It's not unusual. Okay, now listen to this. This is kind of interesting. Common reasons. Limited access. Well, we know it wasn't limited access because she took clothes with her. Traveling, staying in hotels or not, having luggage, or didn't plan on for multiple days. But we know she did plan for multiple days. The next reason is, it says stress or shock. After a major event, people don't think about hygiene or changing clothes. They focus on what just happened, not their routine. Well, she didn't have a routine. You saw that house. Or trying to avoid attention. Keeping the same look can feel normal to them. Changing too much might feel noticeable. Or, here's the final, especially in younger or inexperienced individuals, poor judgment or immaturity, not thinking ahead about evidence or perception. That is the excuse over here. It does raise questions about which one was she. I don't know. Which one was she? It's craziness. It's just craziness. I'm going to get this off of here. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of questions about that timeline. I want to see if I can pull this. Oop, hang on. Let me see if I can pull this up from this email. Hang on, guys. I think I have to go over here to my Gmail. Just a second. Just hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull this up over here. This other information that I got some. It's a bunch of different files, and I mean, it is interesting stuff. Let's see. Let me see. Not this one. Here we go. Yeah. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, open. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you something that came in this. It's kind of interesting, too. Hang on. Here we go. Share screen. Okay. All of this stuff is from that Christian dating site where she said that she met Nick. All of this right here. Let's see if we can open one of them up and actually see what it says. Hang on. Ooh, it's kind of little. I don't think I can read that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ah! Let me see if I can make this bigger. All right. I think I can read it from right here. It goes, hi, I think this is from, this is from Gypsy. Now listen to this. Okay, guys. Now we know that she's lied and lied and lied to him. Hi, I sent you ad, but I need to tell you something. I have a medical condition, a spinal cord condition, so I can't walk. I have a chair I use, but don't think of me as broken. I'm not. I even won medals for racing, and I've always decorated my chair to match my outfits. Is that an issue? Now, listen to that. Told him she had a spinal cord injury. Yeah, there you go, lying little. That's craziness, right? Let's go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of these. They're kind of interesting. Then he replies back with, wow, that's amazing. I don't know why, but I find you intriguing. I've never told, oh, is it? No, wait a minute. This is her. This is her again. This is not him. I find you intriguing. I've never told anyone but my mom. I see things in my dreams and they come true. My mom and grandmother are also gifted with that too. I don't tell people because I'm afraid they think in some kind of wacko, but I'm not. Yes, you are, bitch. Yes, you are. And thank you for saying a woman. Most don't because I'm smaller than most women. I'm like 90 pounds and 5 foot tall. People mistake me for a 14 or 15-year-old. LOL. And the way I dress don't help. I don't dress very modern. My mother raised me to have modesty, so my clothes.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, I gotta laugh. Oh my God, let me catch back up. My mother raised me to have modesty. My clothes are like from the 1900s and things that just don't show my body off. And you know, that does not stop the guys from making rude comments to me in front of my mom. If I hear, hey babe, nice chest, one more time, I will scream. The guys here are so rude and disrespectful. It's like you don't care about who I am. Anyway, that's why I've never had a boyfriend. The guys here are just jerks. But you're not like that. I can tell your parents raised you right. Are you on Facebook? We will have to spend more time. We will have to spend more time going over these because they are damn funny, right? It's kind of amazing what she thinks people will believe. So we can. Are you off tomorrow?
I am.
You want to go live tomorrow during the day where we can play all of these?
Yeah.
Let's do that because that'll be fun. We'll play all of these tomorrow and just send you Nick's. Oh wait a minute.
Yeah.
I should send you Nick's and you could read Nick and I could read Gypsy.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's do that. So we'll do that tomorrow. You want to do about 2:00?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So 2:00 my time. Is that too early your time?
No, that's noon. That's fine.
Okay. So we'll do that tomorrow. And I'll send you Nick's and we can just go through it like that because I think it's just quite funny and all the different lies that I mean, I can see why Nick really thought that she truly loved him. I can see that. I really can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but Ryan thought the same thing. I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you a funny I saw today. She says, I'm my dad's twin. This is Gypsy saying, I'm my dad's twin. And I said, oh, really? Because you cheat?
Yeah, right?
You cheated on Nick, you cheated on Ryan, and you will cheat on Ken. Who's that roguey person? Anyway.
Of course you will. Of course you will.
So I guess we'll get off of here for now. But anyway.
What's the saying? If they cheat with you, they'll cheat on you.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
They do say that. So we'll call it a day. We'll come back tomorrow, and I'll set that up, and I'm gonna get this stuff split out so I can send you Nick's, and we'll just go from there. That's kind of funny, right?
Okay.
Anyway, have a good evening. Thank you for coming in. As we always say, please take care of yourself and be careful out there. And
hug your babies.
That's right. Life is short, and our time with them is even shorter. So we're gonna call it a night. We'll see you tomorrow about 2:00 Central Standard Time. Night, guys.
All right. Night.